Another common question that we receive across the board is how to assess. So let's break this down. How do we assess invention? April, what are you looking for?
Specific students.
Well, so in Invention, we have students go through the common topics, and we have them put those ideas into the Annie. I don't assess whether I think their response to the common topic is correct, because it's their idea. It's their thinking. What I am mainly looking for, and I'm learning to pay very close attention, is that students are marking the response and putting it into the Annie, because sometimes that doesn't that piece doesn't transfer to students. And honestly, 10 years ago, it didn't transfer to me at all. I thought we were answering questions just to do some good thinking and then create our Annie. Where I got that idea, I don't know. I just, that's just the way I at first came to it. So to ensure that that happens, it's really great to have students take the answer to how is X different than Y. That if they think that answer, that response goes into the A column, mark it with an A. If the next response, you know, another way they're different goes into the N column, mark it with an N. Take those and transfer in to the Annie. And it may sound like a tedious process. I don't know a better way to assess and make sure that they do get that very important piece of taking your responses and putting into the Annie.
So then when I'm mom at home and I assign them, let's say we're at like essay 3. So now we have the general, all 5 common topic questions to ask. We have a specific common topic that we've taught a little better, and we have an Annie. I'm going to look for that they've answered the questions that have been introduced to them, to each of the general common topics and then the new one. And I'm going to look that they've marked their answers, their responses, with an A, N, or I, or a combination of A, N, and I, and they've moved them into an Annie. Anything you want to add to that, Camille?
Quantity. We assess for quantity, not quality.
Okay.
If you say you have to have 10 in the Annie, then they have to have 10 in the Annie. If you say we have to have 15 in the Annie, you check if they got to 15. And if they didn't, if you have to assess at that point, then it's incomplete. And then they add it, and then it's complete. You don't say 87.
Done.
To go on.
And that's a little piece I was thinking of. And also within the questions, if, for example, relation is the cause and effect type question, if you ask them for what happened before the story started and you leave a place for one answer, you get one answer.
Yes.
Yes. And you may look at it as the teacher and say, well, more than one thing happened. Why didn't you list a few more? That's because you didn't ask for a few more. You need to be clear on how many responses this question needs.
And then I can only assess for what I've expressed. I can't expect them to read my mind and do something I never stated. And so that is one thing that I'm pretty careful about, that when I get their work back and I see a whole bunch of the things not done the way I thought, I realize, oh, I don't think I said it. This was me. This isn't them.
You can tell that you didn't say it. Yeah.
Right. And so then I just know that I didn't teach that. I didn't express that, whatever layer that is.
Yeah. And I come back to class and say, here's something I forgot to mention. We're going to think about that next time around, but I didn't ask you to do that. And so that was not a requirement. That's only fair.
Yeah.
Right. You completed what I asked you to do. What I actually came out of my mouth.
And so that's where, so you get an A, right? Your work is accepted if you completed everything I asked you to do.
Yep.
And if there's something missing that I asked you to do, then it's an I for incomplete. And it goes back and you get to add to it until it's complete. And so we go through this cycle to where they get to work on it again. I look at it again, give them any feedback. They get to work on it again. I look at it again, give them feedback until it's complete, until it's an A for accepted.
In general, I think it's important for students and parents. Well, depending on where I'm teaching online. Some of my classes are online, but I carry over, the same teaching expectations in my other classes. Sometimes students are under the impression that they turn something in, it's done. They step back. That was the requirement. So it sometimes takes some getting used to get your assessment, realize there's some corrections that are required, and to make those corrections and resubmit. And we do that until we have the things that we asked for, so it can be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And this just strikes me as piano practice. You don't just practice it badly for 30 minutes. You have to catch your mistakes and fix them.
Mm-hmm. And that develops over time, that listening ear for it, so that it harmonizes with what I know.
Yeah, self-assessment. But yeah, and then in the meantime, you have the coach who says the fingering was off, or the phrasing was off, or these are half notes and you played quarter notes, or whatever it is. And so you say, oh, and then go back and do it the right way. It's mastery learning. We're trying to become skilled.
Right.
Mm-hmm.